In this video, I'll provide an overview of our financial case study analysis report. So we're here on our homepage. I'm going to go ahead and click on weekly modules as we usually do. And then we'll go ahead and scroll down to week 16. So here in week 16, we have the link to the financial case study analysis report assignment. And note that I do have the final exam study guide posted as well, so you can study for that as well this week. So if I go ahead and click into the financial case study analysis report, the assignment is due on May 20th by 11 p.m. It is worth 100 points, and you will be completing the case study based on the individual or family that you had chosen earlier in the semester. So you're going to put together a written report of 2 to 3 pages, single space, double between paragraphs, on the case study that you chose. In this report, you'll have your analysis and recommendations as well as a reflection. So I would recommend going back to some of the discussion boards where we discussed our case study and using that to help you brainstorm what you'll write in the report. Now, you may have also decided to partner up to co-write a report, and if that's the case, make sure to put both your names on the assignment and to both submit separately. Let's go ahead and look at the Appendix B for the financial case study rubric. And note, I have reposted the learning objectives from our course. There were 8 learning objectives that hopefully we've achieved by going through this class together. And you'll want to include some of these in your final report. So recall last week I provided a video on how to outline the financial case study itself. And then here's the rubric on how the grading will get broken out. So for the section where you're writing about the identification of the family's financial problems, this is worth 30 points, and it's based on your analysis of the financial problems and how you organize that process, as well as integrating the textbook material per APA and how you identify short, medium, and long-term issues in the case study. For the solutions to the family's financial problems, this is worth 45 points, and it focuses on the solutions itself that you propose, how they align with the short, medium, and long-term courses of action, and again, integrating textbook material or any secondary source, whether it was provided through the course or that you found on your own, and again, using APA format. Note, this third piece is the reflection of your learning objectives. So in this class, we had 8 learning objectives, which I posted in the instructions on the last page. And you'll want to pick out a few and identify and make it explicit on how you've achieved those learning objectives through this case study analysis. And then explain how you'll use this in the future. And even if you are partnering with someone, you can both state how you will apply your learning in the future. And that's the breakdown of our rubric for the financial case study. Now, if I go ahead and go back, let's briefly review the learning objectives from the course. So the first learning objective was around developing financial goals and a realistic budget. 2 was regarding tax liability depending on your life stage. Learning outcome 3 has to do with purchasing and leasing new and used vehicles. Learning outcome number 4 had to do with housing and financing options. Learning outcome number 5 is related to home, property, automobile, and liability risks. In other words, insurance. And then learning outcome 6 had to do with health, disability, and life-death risks. Again, more insurance areas. Learning outcome 7 is more related to the investment areas. And then learning outcome number 8 had to do with the retirement and estate planning. So in your case study, in many instances, several of these learning outcomes were addressed. Perhaps one of your recommendations was to establish a will or a trust for your family. Or perhaps you made some recommendations on the kind of car that they should obtain. So anywhere you see one of your recommendations appearing within one of the learning outcomes, you know you've achieved it. So you'll want to make sure you include that towards the end of your report so that I can see the connection between your learning and the case study. If you have any questions, just let me know.